Okay, not great news about this guy. He stands at D. Plus. This guy flashes some red flags that you really need to watch out for. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is more likely to talk big than to actually go far in his career. He might impress people with his big ideas and sound very sure of himself, but when it comes to putting in steady, hard work, he usually falls behind. His habit of withdrawing or pulling back when stressed means he might not stick with things long enough to reach the top.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he tends to break down rather than bounce back. He might get angry, snap at others, or even say hurtful things because frustration hits him hard. Recovery doesn't come easily for him. He struggles to move past setbacks and rebuild his focus.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work may find it hard to truly like or respect him. On the surface, he is polite, but underneath, he can be quick to argue or get into fights over small issues. He usually puts himself first, which makes it tough for others to connect with him or trust his intentions.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he is more likely to feel insecure than proud. Instead of cheering for you, he might get upset, act distant, or even say unkind things to bring you down. He finds it hard to handle someone else's success, especially when it makes him feel less important.
What if you start earning more than him?
Yes, if you earn more than him, it's very likely he will secretly resent you and feel insecure. Instead of being happy for you, he might start picking fights over small things or act colder than usual. Deep down, he struggles with his own self worth when someone close to him outshines him.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He tends to handle money carefully and prefers to keep things organized when it comes to spending. You might notice that he likes to stick to a budget, keeps track of expenses, and doesn't usually make sudden or careless purchases. He takes his routines seriously and manages the little details quite well.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He is the type to live within his means and not pretend to be richer than he really is. He takes being practical and organized seriously, so showing off or overspending isn't his style. You might see him stick to the basics and avoid flashy choices when it comes to homes, clothes, or outings.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is quite tight with both money and mindset. He usually watches every rupee and can be strict about how money is spent, sometimes making you feel like you have to ask for permission even for small things. You might find it hard to get emotional support or little thoughtful gestures from him.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more likely to be secretive and controlling about money rather than open and honest. He likes to be in charge of finances and may keep important details to himself, making you feel left out when it comes to big decisions. This control can leave you frustrated and make it tough to build trust around finances in your relationship.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe that housework is your job rather than something to be shared equally. He values order and routines, but rather than pitching in, he might expect you to handle most of the chores and daily tasks, sometimes even giving instructions about how things should be done. If fairness at home is important to you, this could lead to frustration in the long run.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is much more likely to help by supervising you rather than actually rolling up his sleeves. He prefers to stand back and tell you how things should be done, pointing out what's out of place or what needs fixing instead of getting involved himself. His support often stops at giving instructions or setting rules, not at sharing the real work.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
Most of the time, he just argues to prove he's right instead of truly trying to understand your side. Even in small disagreements, he feels the need to win and can get loud or stubborn if he thinks he's being challenged. He rarely takes a step back to see things from your point of view.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he does not stay respectful. He's likely to say hurtful things or even act aggressive. His temper flares up quickly, and he may use sharp words, make cutting remarks, or raise his voice. At his worst, he might create a tense or even frightening atmosphere at home.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, this is definitely the kind of man who gets angry very quickly. His temper is short, and small problems can turn into big arguments in no time. This isn't just a small flaw, it's a big warning sign that you shouldn't ignore.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it very hard to say sorry or take responsibility for his mistakes. When things go wrong, he is far more likely to blame you or make excuses than admit he did something wrong. This can leave you carrying the weight of every argument, always feeling blamed and rarely heard.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He may not respect your boundaries, and there's a real risk that he won't understand or accept when you say no. When he wants something or feels challenged, he tends to push his own way, sometimes ignoring your comfort or feelings altogether. This kind of behavior shows he's more focused on his own needs than respecting yours.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, this is the kind of man who is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of understanding or being patient, he may feel rejected and react with hurt, anger, or even harsh words. Remember, a loving partner should care about your comfort and feelings, not just their own wants.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
With him, you may not be able to fully trust that your private moments will be handled with care. If he feels upset or wants to win an argument, he might bring up things you shared in confidence or use private details to make you feel small or embarrassed. If someone uses those moments against you, it can deeply hurt your self esteem and peace of mind.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is not the type who easily wanders or chases after other women. His focus tends to stay on his own world and routines. He prefers control and order, so he's less likely to flirt around or get drawn into affairs just for excitement. His attention might stay with you, but the closeness and care you hope for may still be missing.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, he is likely to be overpossessive. He may act very jealous, question who you talk to, or try to control where you go and what you do. This kind of behavior isn't about love, it's about wanting control.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what might look like a protective nature is actually a sign of a controlling personality. At first, he may say he only wants the best for you or that he worries about your safety, but his actions go much further. This isn't true care or protection, it's about controlling you and your freedom.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will likely expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. He may focus on giving instructions or making rules, but when it's time for the hands on chores or caring for the children's feelings, he tends to step back and leave it to you. If you ask for help, he might get annoyed or act as if you're making too much of things.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he is likely to lose his temper rather than stay calm. He reacts quickly and strongly to mistakes, often raising his voice or saying harsh things instead of offering comfort or guidance. His anger can make even small problems feel like big deals for the kids.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is unlikely to fully support your role as both a mother and your own person. While he may want you to be a good mother and keep the house in order, he struggles to see or appreciate your needs, interests, or dreams outside of family duties. Over time, you might feel like you're losing parts of yourself just to keep the peace.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, this is the kind of man who might seem to support your career now, but could later ask you to quit after you have a child. At first, he might say he's proud of you or happy about your work, but once family responsibilities grow, he's likely to expect you to focus only on home and children. This can leave you feeling trapped or pressured to give up your own ambitions for the sake of peace at home.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is likely to act polite on the surface with your parents, but not show real warmth or genuine care. When he's around them, he may behave properly and use respectful words, but it often stops there. He doesn't easily build deep or affectionate relationships. Real warmth and bonding probably won't grow much beyond formal courtesies. He is more likely to expect your family to change for him rather than make adjustments himself.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he's more likely to make things worse than handle it calmly. He doesn't deal well with outside pressure and can quickly lose his temper or become critical, saying things that upset you or your loved ones even more. This can lead to hurt feelings on both sides and make you feel even more stuck between him and your family.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is very likely to act modern with you in private, but expect you to behave like a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives. When it's just the two of you, he might accept your choices or talk openly. But as soon as family is involved, he prefers you to follow their customs, dress a certain way, or take on roles that fit old fashioned expectations. This double standard can feel confusing and unfair, making it hard to be yourself or set your own boundaries when his family is around.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is much more likely to stay out of it or even side with his family rather than support you. He doesn't like getting involved in emotional situations and may avoid taking a stand, leaving you to handle the conflict on your own. In tough moments, you may find that you're standing alone, wishing for more loyalty and understanding from him.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He has strong signs of being a mummy's boy, and it's very unlikely that he will choose your side if there's a conflict with his mother. His loyalty tends to lean toward his own family. especially his mother, and he may feel uncomfortable standing up for you if it means upsetting her. In disagreements, he might avoid confrontation by staying silent, or worse, ask you to adjust for the sake of peace.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he's the kind of man who might share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. When there's a problem between you, instead of keeping it just between the two of you, he could run to them for advice or to vent his feelings. This often means your personal struggles and secrets may not stay private for long.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, overall, this guy stands at D. Plus. Some of these red flags can really become a big deal. You've got to be very careful here. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out can feel tiring and lonely. You'll often find yourself walking on eggshells, worrying about his mood or anger over small things.